How you doing? Welcome back to the Sober Son of God channel. Another beautiful day here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're almost done with the heat. I mean, it's at a manageable level now, so I can't complain. I say it's a dry heat out here. I get it. There's not a lot of humidity, but 115 is 115. 120 is 120. You know? Everything's good. Everything is good's an understatement. Everything's great. I recently joined the 4 a.m. club. I'm up at 4, doing an hour and a half of exercise in the morning after I pray. Man, life is beautiful. This video is about forgiveness, and that's a tough one. That's a really, really tough one because every single one of us has been in this situation where we needed to forgive somebody or somebody needed to forgive us. And either side is hard. But I want to read Luke chapter 23, verse 34. It says, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing." This is a New Living Translation. In the King James, it says, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." They beat him, tortured him, put him on a cross. Literally the worst death you can imagine. The way I understand it was, the way that he was pinned, when he got air into his lungs, it put unbearable weight on the nails that were suspending his body. So he was transferring from excruciating pain to excruciating pain. Horrible. And what did he do? Did he yell out and say, "I hate you"? No. He said, "Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." As Christians, we have to be Christ-like. We're never going to live up to Jesus' standard, but we know as Christians what's wrong, what's right. And we know we're going to be tempted, and we know that God will always prevail. And forgiveness is a tricky subject because every one of us who have been wronged, and you had nothing to do to deserve it, it grows hate in your heart. That's up to you to make sure it doesn't get to your heart. As rough as that sounds, I love this quote. "Anger is a punishment we give ourselves for someone else's mistake." That quote has helped me immeasurably with my anger. 98% of the time, and I'll tell you what I'm basing that off of, I am mentally great. 2% of the time, I have those days. But I'm telling you right now, I'm winning by 98%. Because when I was drinking and in my addiction, it was 100% of the time I had no control. The reason I'm basing that off of is you do 365 and then divide that by 2%, that's about 7 days. So I'm saying I have like 7 days worth of bad moments a year, we'll say, on average. I'm not saying I have 7 bad days. I don't accept bad days anymore. We have bad moments in time. We're not here long enough to have bad days. But that is a great quote. It's true. Anger is a punishment we give ourselves for someone else's mistake. And if you're in an argument with somebody and they're screaming back, it's not going to do anything to hurt them. It's going to hurt you. And I can promise you this. The loudest person in the room, I want to say 10 times out of 10, in an argument at least, is the most insecure one. You take it on the chin, turn the other cheek, as it tells us, and move forward. God will sort out the things He needs to. But don't let your heart be wrecked because you got wronged by somebody. Now let's flip it for a second. When I got sober, I did the 12 steps. I didn't go to AA. I do my own version of it. I go to a church called Good News Church, wonderful church. And I had to get around like-minded people who had been through what I was going through. And they showed me how they took the steps that God directed them, and now I'm doing great. But when you get sober, you have to ask for forgiveness. A lot. Because if you're in an addiction and you've been in one for a long time, you've messed some things up. And it's hard to swallow your pride and go, "Oh man, I have to apologize to 18 people today for stuff I did 12 years ago." There's power in that. When you don't let Satan run it and go, "Yeah, you did do that," and they probably hate you and they're just telling you that they love you. I would never forget that if I was you. Ignore him. Forgiveness in and out all around is a power Jesus and God want us to have. To look at somebody who's wronged you and say, "I forgive you." Or to be wronged by someone and have them come up and say, listen, I'm really sorry. We're about love and brothers and sisters in Christ on this planet, and we meet up and we help each other. All that hate, all that anger, animosity, that's all fueled by him. It stops with us, regardless. He told them, forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing. That's how we got to follow that example. I hope you have a good day.